Hey everybody, welcome back to Thomas FreeMe TV and Podcast Show. How is everybody doing today? Wednesday, Hump Day, 11/17/2001. We are waiting on the Kyle Rittenhouse verdict. If you've been following along, you know little Kyle Rittenhouse has went through a 2-week trial for killing 2 people and shooting a third, and he is proclaiming self-defense, which I was all on board with that until essentially the final day of trial. Really what did it was the summation of the closing argument of the state, and you just cannot deny facts. I'm catching a lot of beef on social media about these posts that I'm putting out, but it's like the same in the elections. Now, it's people that they have a thought in their mind, and that thought, that judgment, is based upon speculation and hearsay. And they won't, these people just, they don't want to face the truth. Kyle was the agitator. He was the agitator. They keep bringing up the fact, well, there was people punching him in the head with rocks, trying to hit him with skateboards. He agitated that situation. I've discussed this already. But it's in the jury's hands. This is day 2. I kind of guessed somewhere around the end of today, maybe first thing tomorrow morning, the jury will come back with the verdict. It's now going on 2:45 p.m. Eastern Time. Kenosha is an hour behind. They are Central Time, so it's 1:44 there. So we're all just waiting. We're waiting. You got people outside of the courthouse waiting for what? I have no idea. Again, the emotions. These are the emotions of America that I'm talking about, right? These emotions, this concept in people's minds, that they just want to ignore facts and stick to speculation. I'm getting into arguments with a couple people about the Arbery case. Again, you're coming to your own conclusions because you want to assume, or you want to just say, you want to go with the odds or whatever, but that's not how it works in the state of law. It's not how it works in law. You have to be proven. And you, Mr., Mrs., are going to want that same burden of proof when you want to plead for your case. So it's causing some backlash, and there's a lot of emotions. There's a lot of feelings out there, and it's a lose-lose situation for everybody. I don't want to see nothing bad happen to this kid. That's not what I'm out here for. I'm not out here to point my finger at him, call him a vigilante. He was just a stupid kid doing stupid things, and that's it. See, what Kyle didn't recognize, and what a lot of Americans don't recognize, is they keep bringing up these people's criminal history. Let's talk about these 3 individuals' criminal history and why they acted upon that night the way that they did. These weren't 3 normal citizens that are used to running, hiding, cowering away from confrontation, things of that nature. These were people who have led a life of confrontation in some sense. They were used to confrontation, especially Rosenbaum. Rosenbaum showed in the videos that he was one that welcomed confrontation. So when you present confrontation to people like them, to me, to other people that have been in controversial lifestyles, we are going to react differently than how normal citizens do, normal civilians that may have been in one confrontation back in high school at a football game because a girl kissed their boyfriend or whatever. So I think this is what Kyle was used to, those types of confrontations where they weren't really confrontations. They were just disagreements, and maybe there was some pushing and shoving, and maybe somebody got punched in the head. Nothing serious, nothing that you were fighting for your life, or really trying to fight to hurt somebody, to put somebody down because you knew that this person was there to hurt you. People really don't know what it's like to be in fear of their life. You think that you are, but you're really not. And that's the issue. That's a lot of what's going on is again, we get lost into these stories and our egos and wanting to be the victim, that we create an illusion of reality it's not really there. Kyle was never in no serious danger until he started shooting people. He's the one that upped the ante. Nobody else. Nobody shot at him. Nobody was trying to stab him. But again, normal civilians, normal citizens don't know that type of confrontation. So I look at things differently than how normal people look at it. To me, that didn't look like any kind of situation but a bunch of out of control kids that was venting. They were, all of them were disobeying the law, even Kyle. But to others, it may look like World War III, because you just grow up in these plush homes and plush communities and with these golden gates and all these things, and you just don't see this every day. You've been shielded and guided from it, and you've been told that those types of things don't happen in the world, that they happen way off in third world countries. But we're civilized, so that stuff doesn't happen here. So you don't know that it exists until it's on your front door, and then you're shocked by it. To me, it was just, again, it was a situation I've seen. If I've seen it once, I've seen it 1,000 times, and it was just it was ruckus. It was just a ruckus, And Kyle was in an arena that he knew nothing about. He didn't even understand what the rioting, if that's what people want to call it, he didn't even understand what it was about. And that's it. There's point blank. I'm kind of done talking about it, because he obtained the gun illegally, right? He went there illegally. He brought the gun across state lines illegally. He went there illegally. There was a curfew. He knew that there was a curfew. He denied the curfew, all because he wanted to go help people, but yet he's carrying an AR-15 loaded with full metal jackets. All illegal. And he went there with nothing to help anybody with but some gauze that was testified, where he went in and grabbed some gauze at the last minute, and that was it. He's not certified in anything, yet he's telling people that he's an EMT. He's lying to people. And this is a situation where there's a lot of confusion. There's mass confusion. You don't really have time to assess if this person is lying or not. So it's easy to take advantage of people's trust. And that's what he was doing. And I think it got to the point to where Kyle started to feel emboldened by his actions, because he's got this AR-15, and that gives you a lot of courage, just like alcohol does. It's a big difference when you're walking through a crowd by yourself, unarmed, a hostile crowd, than when you have an AR-15 and you know that there's full metal jackets in there. So, but we saw what Kyle was made of. We saw what Kyle was made of, and that's it. I just think that he came around. He wanted to put fear into those people in the van, the Seminskys, and when he raised that rifle, Rosenbaum came behind him to snuff him, no question, right? And he saw him and he took out. And Rosenbaum chased him. And I think Kyle didn't expect Rosenbaum to be on him when he turned around, and that scared him enough to shoot, because Kyle is a bitch. He's not a fighter. He is not what he was portraying himself to be. He was a wannabe. He was a follower. How do I know? Because he got an AR-15 because it looked cool. He knew it was gonna. He knew that this AR-15 was gonna make him famous on TikTok. It was gonna give him more subscribers. That is the mindset. And the point is, I'm not trying to single Kyle out. What I'm trying to do is get America to understand that this is what social media is doing to us. This is what our TVs are doing to us. This is what we as parents are doing to us. When we lie to our children, when we placate them, when we give them PC answers, when we allow them to be bad and do bad because we're just too tired. When we're not staying on top of our children. We have allowed outside entities free access to our children's brains that we can't hardly monitor. We try. They have apps and stuff to monitor that. But that is a full-time job in itself. And if you're already working 2 full-time jobs and barely paying the bills, you really don't have time. It's tough. It's really tough. It's sad when we as a country can't communicate with one another as citizens. It's sad when we lose the fact that our ideologies, my ideology, is more important to me than my country as a whole and everybody that lives in it. It's sad that we've become so egotistical and selfish as a nation that we just can't understand or see past our neighbors to love the people in another city that may have a different ideology than us. Why do we hate each other so much? What is the fear? What's the fear because somebody has a different opinion than you? Why kill this person? Why be angry at this person? What is so hard to understand that this person has different life experiences? And they view things in a different manner. And because you don't agree with that, you want to eliminate that person? It's disgusting, some of the comments I get on social media. Kyle was a hero. He did the world good by eliminating these people. Look at their criminal history. The only one that had anything serious is Rosenbaum, and that was some serious stuff. But again, he alone was given the right to live by God and nobody else. He is allowed the right to come into his mistakes and change his ways. And that's nobody else's right to say when or where he should die, how he should die, or that we should be happy that a person like that is dead. When you think like that, again, you're thinking from an egotistical, materialistic standpoint. That's not of God. God don't think like that at all. And that's the hypocrisy of our democracy, is that a person can say something like that and then go to church the next day and actually feel like they are, blessed. When are people going to realize that the state of your existence is in chaos because of the decisions and the choices that you are making? Kyle had a choice. Kyle had many choices. He chose to manipulate the law to get that rifle. Kyle chose that. Kyle chose to go to Kenosha, knowing that there was a curfew, knowing that there was unrest. Did his mom, did his parents know that he was going there that night? Or did he lie about that? Did he manipulate that? Did he tell his parents, hey, listen, guys, I'm going to protect this guy's business. I got my AR-15, my body armor, and I'm going over there to help people, and this is what I'm going to do. This is a a lose-lose situation for everybody. But what we have to understand as Americans is that when these situations arise, right, these people that are standing outside of the courthouse and doing all of these things, and they're trying to protect, I get it. You're trying to protect your self-defense. You're trying to protect your right to protect yourself, carry arms, protect yourself. But finding Kyle guilty or innocent, I don't think is going to hurt that. What does hurt our rights is when you do things, right, and then you try to use our rights as an scapegoat, as an excuse to do what you did. The government is looking to take away our rights. They're looking to take away our guns. They're looking to take away everything that they can in order to control our justice system, control our movements, control what we do, where we go, how we do them, what we say, when we can say it. This is what the government is trying to do. People look at me like I'm crazy. I'm a conspiracy theorist, but no, I'm awake. Sorry, because that's what censorship is. And when you provide a platform that can get at least 80 to 90% of your citizens on any one of these platforms, and you can control the narrative of how that platform runs by censoring who you want and who you don't want based upon their views, their shares on social media, then yes, you're controlling a narrative. When you're controlling what comes across the airwaves, you know, what we listen to, what we watch, how we watch it, and you're manipulating that to look a certain way, you're controlling the narrative. I think by now we understand that our news is limited. Our truth is limited based upon the agenda that wants to be pushed by the FCC, because that's who controls everything, right? That we listen to, that we watch, the FCC. They have the final say in whether it's released to the public or not. So I understand when people are telling me, oh, well, you watch the news, you get your information from the news is slanted, all of these things. I understand all of that. I'm going by, really what convinced me was the drone footage. The drone footage is what got me, because once I saw that Kyle was the agitator, what else is there to see? You cannot raise your rifle at people and expect a positive response. What would have happened that day if Kyle walked around the van and set down his fire extinguisher as we saw him do, raise his rifle, and the Zeminskis had just got down on their knees? You heard all night long, at least I heard all night long in the videos, people warning Kyle, telling Kyle, get back on your property. You're here for your property, then guard your property. You're out here in the street. You're agitating people. You're pointing guns at people. Stop pointing your gun at me. These are things that we heard throughout the night. Kyle knew that he was agitating people and he was getting a kick off it. And he thought he could continue it. He was trying to be famous. And he can roll his eyes in court all he wants, because I understand. I do. I really do. When I was in the courtroom and them officers and the court was likening me to Eminem. They kept calling me Eminem. They were trying to make underlining, they were trying to make underlining jokes, if you will, insults about the way that I spoke, because I was looked upon as somebody that wasn't supposed to be in the position that I was in. And the court made me know that's how I was looked upon. So, they were likening me to Eminem. They were likening me to, wannabe black person, just things of that nature. So, I can kind of relate to how the prosecution is using the I want to be famous and things of that nature, because it looks silly now, you know, and I think Kyle knows that. We wait. Kyle waits. I know that pressure. This is that pressure is unexplicable. My deliberation was nowhere near as long. My deliberation was 45 minutes. And I shared on my podcast this morning a little bit of what I went through, and I'll share with you is, when everybody rested and the jury went away, I went outside, the courtroom. This was a federal trial, maybe 11 days, I believe it was 11 or 12 days, and it was a trial that was put off several times because here in Florida, in 2005, around September, August, October, we had multiple hurricanes that were, coming up through Florida at that time. And the court was just postponed. So I got about another 7 or 8 months, which was lucky for me because I just had my child. And she was 6 months old when I left on September 29th, 2005. And yeah, so the case rested. The jury went into deliberation, and I went outside and I just sat in my car with the mother of my child, and we just sat in there. Wasn't really anything kind of said. Comfortable silence, if you will. And just everything is numb. Everything is numb. I just told her, to take care of herself. If, for God willing, things didn't go our way. I kind of knew I had lost trial. I kind of knew I lost trial halfway through when I saw how the federal system works. It's nothing like state courts, not like state trial. When I saw that they could use hearsay, when they could just bring people up on the stand to say whatever they wanted, I just knew there was no win for that. And I have several videos with attorneys that describe exactly that it's almost indefensible because of the guidelines and the way that it's laid out. So I pretty much knew halfway through. I was out of gas. So that was it. I mean, I'm sitting in the car, I'm waiting, and then I saw them. I saw my family and my attorney coming around the corner, and I looked over at her. She was curled up in a little ball in the seat. And I told her, this is it. Here we go. So they saw that we made, my attorney and I made eye contact, and he just kind of waved me, and I told her, let's go. Let's go. And she looked up at me and she was, Papi, I would like to stay. I don't think I can go in. So I said, okay. Just hang out here and I'll be back in a minute. And I gave her a kiss. I shut the door. I went inside the courtroom. And that was it. That was the last that my footsteps have touched the earth on free ground until 2016. I walked into that building and never came back out. Not as a free man. Not on my feet. So I went in, they found me guilty. 45, it was a Friday afternoon, 12-day trial. These people been sequestered. They wanted to go home. They were from different counties because that's how the federal system works, is it pulls people from your district. not just your county. So people were coming from lengths. And then they were sequestered. And then, so it was, people just wanted to go home. And that's what they did. So they did, I didn't. The bailiff came, took the belt off me, took my shoelaces off me. And I knew I'm gone for no less than 10 years. It was a mandatory minimum, 10 to life. I had no idea. I was ranging anywhere from 10 years to life. But this was a decision that I made when I went to trial, because I knew that the ultimate outcome could be a life sentence. Thank you, Bill Clinton, for your wonderful mandatory minimums that you've established in this country that you're oh so sorry for, but people are still sentencing them under them. Still sending people to prison under mandatory minimums every day. Joe Biden, so sorry for his bill. What can I tell you? So, these are the breaks. Kyle's going to have to face that. You know, Kyle made some egregious, pernicious decisions that day. Egotistical, materialistic decisions. And this is why I'm stressing to my people, to my Americans, to my humans, is that we are being put in a position to make these emotional decisions. We're being put in a position, we're being guided by a light to make emotional decisions, to live in an emotional life, to react to things. A reactive life. TikTok's on fire. If I put my profile on there and carry around a gun, I'll get 20,000 subscribers off bat. Bam, I react. I go buy a gun. I'm standing on there in different poses. I got 20,000 subscribers. Now I got to hold that. Now I got to turn to 20 and to 30, because now when I point the gun at people, I get 10,000 more subscribers. So bam, now I'm pointing the gun at people. We're reacting. Because we have been told and shown through media, through our government, our FCC that has allowed these things to go in, that we've trusted. We've allowed these things to penetrate into our home, right into our children's brain, unfiltered, because we trust our government. It's FCC regulated. Oh, it's on regular TV. They can watch it. Next thing you know, your kids are watching Blue's Clues, you know, and everything that's going on with that. Every parent has a right to raise their child the way that they want. There's no question in that. But when does the responsibility come back on the parents? When are we going to start holding the parents accountable for the children that they're producing and letting out into the world? I don't think that it's fair that this boy can go and kill these people, right? And then him have to do all the time because he's 17. He wasn't. Yeah, he's making his own decisions and his own choices by that age, but he's making them from a gumbo that's been placed there by possibly a dysfunctional guideline. So is all the blame on the child? Is all the blame on the school shooters? You know, is all the blame on these people that are committing these egregious acts, these serial killers and these pedophiles and all of these people that are doing the things that they're doing? Are they accountable 100%? Something had to produce these people. That production had to come from somewhere. I believe that the government is a big deal in that because of the oppressive state that it puts on its citizens. And I just see it as we are a deceptive nation. We are a nation that lives by deception, by lies, because of our emotions. Because of our emotions, we're allowing lies to create a reality because this reality is easier for us to manage. It's easier for us to maintain our fucked up ways within these lies that we can work through. But the truth, I can't deal with the truth, because the truth is going to enable me to see things about myself that I don't want to know, or I do know and I've been hiding from. Because then I know I have to change it. And that takes work. And that takes work that I don't know how to do. So therefore, that's why I've been lying to myself the whole time. Where does it stop? Where does it end? And we're putting that in onto our children. You know? It has to come to an end at some point. At some point, the parents have to be accountable and responsible for what's going on for the children that they produce. I don't know how we do that. Can you sentence the parents? Can you fine them? Because I tell you what, when repercussions start coming back onto the parents, it's going to make them want to be a better parent. If the parents are charged somewhat as well, especially if they're if they're juveniles. Especially if they're juveniles. If your juvenile child is committing murder, committing any kind of crimes, that is solely on the parent. How is it not? I don't know. Anyway, it's hump day, man. It's the middle of the week. I got some exciting news to share with you. I don't know if you've made it this far through the video, but if you did, you get the good news. If not, bump ya. But, man, I got my first speaking lines. I'm going to officially be a stage performer by Bravo Productions' American Son. You may have saw it on Netflix with Kerry Washington, and it's about an estranged interracial couple who have a biracial child who is missing. And this child, she goes to the police station and she has an interaction with an officer, Paul Larkins, which is WA. I am now Officer Paul Larkins. And so the first, it's a very good movie. Carrie, in my opinion, could have done much better. But again, me being in this lifestyle or just touching this lifestyle, I know relatability is a big thing. I don't know how relatable she was to this here, but anyhow, it's a powerful story. It's a real powerful story. Never mind the acting of it, but the message and the story in itself is where the power lies. So if you have not watched American Son, I implore that you do understand it. I am now part of the play in Miami, so twice a week I will be rehearsing via Zoom, and then I got to go down to Miami. The month of February, I'll be down there rehearsing, doing in-house rehearsals, dress rehearsals, and getting ready for the performance, which is at the end of the month. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I got going on, man. Good news is stepping up. You're talking about 4 years ago, I came out with nothing. I had nothing. I came home with nothing. No past experience, no work experience, anything of that nature. I left before social media was even invented. I left before MySpace was even out. And I came home. I built the foundation. I built, I would say, a semi-successful social media platform, and it's growing. And I did all of these things on my own, just by learning, just by doing it. Just by figuring out a way to get it done. I built myself a profile. I started sending it to people. People started responding to that profile. I started, I was on, backup in Ozarks season 4 that's coming out. Then Terror Lake Drive, as my subscribers know. And now I moved up to speaking lines. So it's believing in yourself, having faith, continuing to push forward, and knowing that no matter what the people say, you can change. You can be a good person. Rosenbaum didn't deserve to die because of his past. He deserved to live because of his past. He deserved the chance to right his wrongs. Nobody has the right to say that somebody does not have the right to right their wrongs. Did you follow what I said? Everybody has a right to correct their mistakes. Even you. Even you, the one who is saying that Rosenbaum deserved to die. It doesn't matter what they've done. It doesn't matter what the person has done. So, This is what I've done. I understand life and I respect life. I appreciate what God has given me, what my parents have given me. And that's the opportunity just to make my own choices and pave what I want to be, regardless of what people say around me. You can do that too. I promise you. I promise you. This is why I'm exposing my life. I expose my life not to get on here to gain sympathy, as some idiots have said on social media. It has nothing to do with that. I get on here to display me so you can see how ignorant I was, how stupid and foolish and just ignorant I was, and how and what it's taking to change that into a productive community leader that is helping people, lifting people up, getting people out of prison, helping people understand where they're wrong in their life, and just helping people out of their chaotic state. And I love doing that. So this is who I am. I don't deserve to die because of what I've done in the past. And I certainly hope that when I do die, people don't stand around and are thankful that I'm dead because of my past. These are horrible things. These are horrible traits to have. And if you have that inside of you, it's not right. You have to ask yourself, why am I thinking like this? Why do I have hatred for that person? Why would I be happy that this person is dead? Especially a human being that really didn't have the opportunity or the know-how to survive and live a happy life. I want all humans, no matter what culture, creed, your ideology, what you believe in, I want all humans to experience happiness in their life. That's the love that I have for humanity. If you don't have that, then there's something definitely wrong. So I'm going to wrap up with that, man. I just wanted to touch base with you guys. I haven't put out a video of me speaking here in a minute. This is what I'm doing, man. I'm busy. You know, I'm busy. And I'm trying to keep all this stuff afloat. Just remember, I'm doing this by myself. So you guys can help me by sharing, liking, subscribing, getting the word out, man. I'm for the community. I'm for the people. I'm here for you. If you got something going on in your community, if you need help, awareness of any kind of sort, reach out to me and let's see what we can get done. Check my membership. Go to my website, www.cominghomecoalition.com. It's up here in the corner. Visit my merch site. It's up here in the corner. Get you some merchandise if you want merchandise made. If you got a business that you need some things for, whatever it is, hit me up, man. Support the cause. I love you guys. Continue to be your best self. Continue to be your best self. And people of Kenosha, man, go home. Get away from the courthouse. Get away from the courthouse, man, and just let life be life. Let life work out the way that it works out. Control your emotions until there's a time that we, the people, have to bite. It's the citizens, man. It's the citizens. We have to come together. We have to stop fighting with one another. Come together, man. Understand one another. Educate one another. I'm done rambling to y'all, man. Y'all take care. I'll see you guys this weekend, man. Safe blessings. I love you guys. If you haven't heard it yet today, I love you. Thomas FreeMe loves you from the heart, man. I'm here for you guys. Peace. I'm out.